guys, welcome to the recap. And what's happening, I'm out here in Ferry Point Park, and number one, I checked in with my friends in my club, the Bronx Blue Angels, and I've been out here practicing with this camera, trying to get ready for the this cruise we got coming up in a few weeks. But I decided to devote the bulk of this episode of the recap to a special investigative report, and it concerns St. Raymond Cemetery, which is less than 2 miles from our house. Here you go. This here is St. Raymond Cemetery. It's 180 acres. It's the only Catholic cemetery in the Bronx. And it's located roughly between the Throgs Neck and the Whitestone Bridges. Now, to locate it further, it's adjacent to the Trump Golf Course at Ferry Point Park. Ferry Point Park is where I fly my drone, and it's also very, very convenient to the Home Depot. St. Raymond's is a pretty busy cemetery. There are 4,000 burials in here a year, and when it's completely filled, it'll occupy 500,000. So it's a really, really big place. St. Raymond's is nowhere near as famous as Woodlawn. It does have some famous people buried here, and also it seems to be a big attraction for Mets fans. Some of the famous people buried in St. Raymond's include Joseph the Baker Catania, Hector Macho Camacho, Vincent Mad Dog Cole, Billie Holiday, the famous jazz singer, Frankie Lyman, Mary Mallon, you know her better as Typhoid Mary, Benny the Kid Perrette, Anthony Salerno, and finally Godfrey Santini. He's one of the 7 Santini brothers. Land for this cemetery was bought in the 1880s by the pastor of St. Raymond's Church, a Father McAvoy. And he made it a burial ground for his parish, and it became the burial ground for the diocese. It's divided into 2 parts, the old and the new section. Right now I'm in the new section. In 1932, St. Raymond's earned a little spot in history. It was right at this spot, which is at the Tremont Avenue exit entrance to the old part of the cemetery, that a representative from Charles Lindbergh, James Condon, handed over $50,000 in ransom money to Bruno Richard Hauptmann. Now, the story of how Condon became Lindbergh's representative in this is all convoluted and kind of goofy, but Bruno Hauptmann actually lived in the Bronx. Anyway, he selected this location right on the service road next to the entrance to the old section of St. Raymond's. So there's St. Raymond Cemetery. This has been a weekly recap special investigative report. I hope you found it interesting. Now, I know the question you're asking is what he's doing checking out his final resting place. And the answer is really no. I mean, I still have a soft spot in my heart for Holyrood. And, of course, St. Raymond's comes into play when you think about the tolls on the Throgs Neck Bridge. Anyway, at the end of the day, what they're going to do is surprise me, I'm sure. Now, before I close this out, I want to wish congratulations to a great, great supporter of the weekly recap. That's Mike Piazza. Mike is
without a doubt, the greatest hitting catcher ever in the big leagues. Better than Yogi Berra, better than Johnny Bench, way better than Carlton Fisk. And it's just great that he got elected to the Hall of Fame. So, Mike, if we can be there, we will, to give you some, some video coverage of your induction into the Hall. Okay? And I'll tell you what, I'm going to continue practicing with this camera, and we'll see you next week.